Yep.
Hello, everybody. This is the Red Eye News and Stuff 261. You're stuck with the Brit. We've taken over. Run. Run for your lives. All right, guys. I've warmed them up.
Really? Is that what that was? Okay.
I've
Yeah, but
warmed them.
I haven't seen the news stories that you've been. I mean, surely you should introduce the news headlines at the bare minimum.
Wow.
Earn your keep, man.
I ain't getting paid for this shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
Oh, uh,
Hang on, I'll bring up the first one now. Hopefully.
all right. You're on it, dude.
Oh, God, this is professional, isn't it? This is how we do. Roll over, BBC. We're on our way.
Right, is up presenting?
Yes. Oh, hello.
Right. Mountain lion deer plunge into California family's backyard pool during wild chase. So I'm guessing the mountain lion was chasing the deer and they ended up in the pool.
Well, both of them.
Yep.
Okay. Were there tequilas or samosas? Or, what was going on?
I don't believe so.
No. It sounds like some wilderness pool party.
I wonder will this play. There we go. Well, the cat was able to get out of the pool, but the deer seems to be having problems.
Yeah, well, the deer's probably thinking, probably best if I stay in here because the cat doesn't like water.
Logic does dictate don't go out where the big thing with the teeth is.
Yeah, exactly. And also, it doesn't like water. I can float. Stop in here.
So yes, that was the first link, which was anyway, first link.
Okay, who donated that link? Who was the poster of that link?
I think that was probably Shirati.
Shame on you, Shirati.
So have we anything big and exciting and very poignant to say about that, or should we move on?
Nah, it was nature.
Okay.
Are you sure? We don't know about the nurturing of those animals. They could have been abused. They might have had a bad father.
Okay. Body camera video shows Arizona police taser man at least 11 times during 2017 traffic stop. A body camera. Sorry, I'm going to read a little bit of the piece here.
Yep.
It's quite interesting. Body camera footage from a 2017 traffic stop in Arizona shows police officers deploying their stun gun on a man at least 11 times, including once in the testicles, a lawsuit claimed.
If you don't get the testicles, it's not worth doing.
Well, maybe I'm wondering if that was the first or last shot, because I'm pretty sure if that had been the first shot, he'd have been down. But
Wow. I think this is just getting kinky.
The video, which was released by the victim's attorney this weekend, shows officers Mark Schneider and Mark Lindsay approach a Ford Taurus they pulled over in a parking lot. In the vehicle were three adults: Johnny Whitcroft, his wife Anna Chapman. I'm sorry, his wife. Shouldn't she have his last name? What is she, a feminist? And a
purple hair,
as well as the couple's two children. Police said in a statement Friday the vehicle was pulled over because of a traffic violation, and cops discovered the driver didn't have a license. Oh dear.
I'd just like to bring MC had an opinion about the number of shots fired. Only 11.
That must have looked like some weird electro Rastafarian with all those wires attached to it. Because I mean, each one is like a separate right? They've got the wires attached, haven't they?
Yeah. So they'd have to reload their weapons.
Yeah.
And
Is there a semi-automatic taser these days? It probably is, actually.
No, it's the thing. It's like basically you have the like handle, which looks like a gun, and then you have a thing that you clip into the front of it. Yes. And every time you shoot it, you have to take off the front.
They were having fun with this guy. It was like Pinocchio.
Okay, all right. I have to ask, what was this dude being arrested for?
Good question.
Okay, I'm just getting to that. Well, they pulled him over, and then police asked him. Oh no, hang on. He declined to show police officers his driving license because he didn't have one. The officer saw him reaching under the seat for a backpack, and he continued to argue, yell, and physically resist. As they tried to remove him from the vehicle, police said officers eventually threatened to use a taser if Whitcroft did not exit the vehicle. From there, the situation escalated with officers using stun guns multiple times on Whitcroft as his family watched and screamed at the officers to stop. I mean, what happened to the good old-fashioned truncheon to the back of the head, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, good coshing, that's all you need.
He did it in front of his family. Wow. No, there's no psychological trauma going on there. God damn.
Whitcroft can be heard saying, "I'm not doing nothing," repeatedly. It also shows Chapman swing a bag filled with bottled drinks at Officer Lindsay, knocking him unconscious.
He's got so pop.
Schneider, the final tasing. Here we go. The final tasing officer, Schneider, allegedly pulled down the plaintiff's shorts and tased his technical.
Are you sure this wasn't a date?
I mean,
it was just like a date that got out of hand.
No, hang on. If I'm correct, by modern standards, that's sexual assault.
Well, just teasing, just a little gentle tickle with the taser.
Schneider placed his taser on Johnny Whitcroft's penis and screamed, "Keep fighting and you're going to get it again. Do you want it again?"
See, I'm telling you, this is like a porn film. It was probably somebody that was doing a porn film in Hollywood, and they confused it for an actual news story.
MC has an opinion he'd like to put forth. Watch this.
Why isn't he in here?
You're next. You want some? Sorry about MC. I just want to make.
MC, why aren't you in here?
The link is in Mad's Red Eye as usual, MC.
No, so not hiding anything.
Right.
Full disclosure.
So basically, we've just brutalized this poor sod because he wouldn't get out of his car. That's it. In front of his family.
Well,
okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure I was clear.
Yeah. I wonder if if you taste someone in the nuts or whatever, who just like when they say when people die they come. I wonder if that happens if you taste someone in the nuts.
Well, the thing is,
I mean, it's just a thought. I don't know, just wondering.
Yeah, and of course you're the one who had that thought.
No, he's allowed to have the thought. The unfortunate bit was he actually said it out loud.
I think it's a fair question.
Inquiring minds want to know, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. Is there any police officer out there ever tased anyone in the nuts? Do they come or not?
Well, the thing is, he was driving without a license, so he did deserve to be arrested.
Yeah.
But again, it's
all right. All right. First of all, let's be honest. They asked him to get out of the car, and he was "quote unquote" arguing with them.
The establishment is here.
He was just going. He wasn't just, what's your problem, officer? No, officer, I don't have my license. No, it wasn't quite like that. They're not going to try and drag you out of a car unless they have some other reason to try and drag you out of a car.
Well, like I said, I think it's sexual because he went for the nuts. So, you know, I think there's ulterior motive here.
Well, it does seem a little weird as to what was going on with this, because I could say this: if you've been hit with these freaking tasers, and what I think these are the tasers that, you know, you press the button, you see the spark go between the 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what they're calling tasers in this case. They're
Right,
not the
so
ones you shoot and stick into people.
that's what I mean, because otherwise he'd look like I mean, can you imagine what he'd look like with 11 of those? I mean, that's 22 different wires hanging off this guy.
Right.
In front of his family.
He'd be a electro wrestler.
Well, okay. Would you be arguing with the police in front of your family?
Oh, I don't say that the guy was exactly thinking top notch. I'm just thinking.
I have a feeling if it took 11 times before he actually felt it, he was probably hopped up on something. Most likely he was drinking and driving.
Yeah, but I mean, electricity. It's not like you can resist it. Yeah, I mean, you.
Well,
react to
apparently
it
this
for
guy
what it
did
is.
11 times.
Well,
Beep,
maybe he just
beep.
likes it. Maybe he likes it. Like I
The
said,
fact
I
that they
think
warned
this is
him-
sexual.
They warned him they would use a taser if he didn't come out of the car, and he still wanted to fight. And after they used the taser, apparently, he still wanted to fight.
I think this guy's got
You know,
a car battery in his bedroom.
am I the only one who thinks that, you know, these two officers forgot to put the tasers on the charger?
No, that's funny.
You know, because I'm thinking like 11 fucking times either the tasers weren't put in the charger, or like that guy's as fucking tough as concrete, you know.
Until they hit him in the balls.
Yeah.
You better stop. You better stop. I'm going to be there. Are you done?
Let's be honest, MC. If you know, I mean, like everybody in the Marvel universe is scared of Hulk again. If the Hulk had a taser to his nuts, he'd go down too. So, but like the thing is it sexual assault because they did pull down his trousers?
Well, which means he was fighting. All
Yes,
right, they're not stripping the guy while they're.
Oh no, they were. They were. This is sexual abuse. This is rape.
Either that or he's doing a pole dance. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. He's kind of like leaning up on the car. He was probably licking on the windshield. I mean, come on. Does anybody? I mean, obviously, there's something to this story we're not getting. Either this story is exaggerated and a bunch of garbage, or there's something about this story that we're not.
It sounds like something out of Reddit. You know, it's like that. You know, one of those that really happened.
Guys. Mad Dodge has something he wants to tell everybody. To be fair, I've been warned in the same thing, and well, I complied.
Are you saying you didn't want your balls zapped? Did they
maybe he's just admitted that he admitted to, you know, having his balls out.
Is this really a taser, or was it something like, I don't know, a vibrating dildo? Are we sure that this is a real taser that the police are assaulting him with?
This is what's going to be happening, you know, like in the old days of truncheon, they'll just be running around with 12 inches black.
No, it could still be a truncheon with little electrodes on the outer side of it for you to use.
No, just be a big dildo. Just whack people to death with dildos.
You know,
can you imagine that? You know, like the Rodney King thing. That would have been very different if it had been a bunch of cops smacking somebody with dildos, wouldn't it?
You know, I have to say I'm quite surprised that, well, I'm not really surprised, but it's just interesting that, you know, Cabby and MC are the two that go straight to the gay porn. I'm just saying, Mrs. MC, if you're watching,
Wait. Straight to the gay porn? You read the story where the guy said he put it on his penis and said, do you want this? Exactly. I'm sorry. If that's going straight to the gay porn, I don't know what is.
You charged the musket, we just fired it.
Apparently, Cabbage is starring in MC and Mod's recreation porn of the Civil War.
Oh, well, you know, through the ages. I mean, the Greeks. Let's not forget the Greeks.
Imagine it. Kids, don't do this at home. This is what's going to happen to you. You're next.
I think if parents tase their kids more often, then
Meanwhile, his wife's screaming in the back,
misbehavior.
Yes, more.
Hey,
Okay.
have a good time.
You know, with the family friend in front of the kids.
Who are we kink shaming? If that's off, good luck to him.
Yeah, but who are we kink shaming? Is it the police?
This was in Arizona, but what city in Arizona was this?
I'm not sure. I've already closed the link, but it's probably just down the road from you.
It's on your block.
Did you hear any noises last night?
Yeah,
No.
did you notice any of the lights dimming?
Well, this was in 2017, so.
Hmm. What no one realizes was that guy was actually Frankenstein's monster's baby brother. He was
All right, so it's an anchor baby. It's an anchor Frankenstein.
yeah. That's just don't start that rumor for God's sake.
Okay,
You know that will take off.
going with the.
Oh, this is
anchor
in
baby.
Glendale, so it was in Phoenix.
Okay.
So Glendale's on the west side of Phoenix, basically. So a suburb of Phoenix.
I'm sorry, it's Arizona MC. No one cares. I mean, the only thing in Arizona is it's sun.
Yeah. just empty. It's a weird place out in Phoenix. It really is. You sort of just go in, then there's a thing, and then just desert again. Just why is that? I suppose it's just a node, right? You've got to have somewhere to stop.
Okay, let's move on to the next story since the anchor babies were mentioned and our next story is about immigration. So
Yay!
Sounds good.
Okay, in the video they show that this guy's. I'm not doing anything. It shows him swinging a bag full of bottled drinks at an officer, knocking him unconscious.
Well, that was after they pulled him out of his vehicle.
but before the tasing in the balls bit.
Yeah.
You got Mountain Dew. You got Mountain Dew. Man.
Right.
Have a little juice on that. This will make the taser work so much better.
Exactly. Yeah. A little bit of water won't go amiss.
I'm starting to think this might have happened in China.
Even better if it's isotonic. A little salty stuff going on.
It's a new workout regime for him.
Okay. Central America. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Central American migrant families let's just take out that word families. Scumbags overwhelming border patrol, say officials. Border patrol officers told reporters on Friday that the surge of Central American migrant families are stretching their resources thin. The statement comes as agents reported apprehending 60 large groups. That's right, everybody listening. Not 60 individuals, 60 large groups of migrants so far this year. During a conference call discussing the latest illegal immigration numbers along the U.S. southwest border, Border Patrol officials said the large group of migrant families, mostly from Central America, drug dealers, are overwhelming the resources. The agency defines a large group as 100 or more immigrants. So that's 600 in total then, because it said 60 large groups and a large group.
Over 600, yes.
During all fiscal year 2018, which ended on September 30th, Border Patrol agents only apprehended 13 large groups, so 1,300. Right, so far this year, that number jumped to 60 large groups as an increase of nearly 70%. But remember, everybody, the Democrats have told us there's nothing to worry about at the border.
Did you hear why the talks broke down now? The talks broke down now because the Democrats want to limit the number of facilities, all right, that they can keep violent criminals in.
Yeah,
see, if you have too many of them, then you can't let them out on the street, apparently, and the Democrats want them out on the street.
Yeah,
this is the kind of crap that's going on in here.
Well, now, hang on, MC. Hang on, MC. I will agree with the Democrats to let them out onto the streets as long as it's a Californian street.
Oh, I think that they should all be let out in frickin' Nancy Pelosi's house.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the thing. It's like release them not into the general populace because the average person doesn't realize what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, sooner or later, Trump's going to have to get serious about this and go, you know what? We need to find space for this stuff. Eminent domain. Nancy Pelosi's house and her whole compound is now owned by the U.S. government. We're putting in migrants.
Who's echoing, by the way? Somebody's echoing.
I think it's something to do with the way I'm screen sharing, and I'm not 100% sure.
It could be. Yeah, but man, the hypocrisy with all of this stuff, you know, it's like, you know, just on frontier and all that bollocks. It's absolute nonsense. You know, it's at the end of the day, and it doesn't even really need eminent domain, does it? I mean, the people who have the farms and, you know, the land that's down there, I'm sure the vast majority would probably, you know, say to them, I mean, it's not as if it's a massive chunk of land anyway that you're going to take out of any individual, you know, person's land. They, you know, they'd probably fucking help you build it.
Okay. So if you actually housed them in it, yeah, and you didn't let them out, yeah. But the problem is that the people like Nancy Pelosi have gone in there and have created this whole situation where they get to wander around the United States after they have their first hearing and the judge says, okay, you got to release them back on the public instead of just kicking them out immediately over the border. And this is the problem with this crap.
Right.
So why isn't the Supreme Court
first? Right, where is it? Border Patrol officer said the smugglers have adopted the strategy of utilizing large groups to tie up agency resources in remote areas so they can move their drugs and other cargo across the border. The apprehension of...
I waited for that to be said.
The apprehension of family unit aliens. Why does it have to be family unit aliens? Why not just, you know, illegal immigrants?
Well, by the way, family unit does not mean man, woman, child. It just means woman and child. That's family unit by modern classification. That's just woman with spawn.
The number of family units jumped by just a little 290%.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is even better. Agents apprehended nearly 100,000 family units during the month along the entire southwest border. So in 1 month, 100,000 illegal immigrants were stopped.
And those are the ones that were stopped. Those weren't the ones that got through. And the sad part is that plenty are getting through. Plenty are getting across the border, and then you got to try and track them down and find out where they're at.
And this is the problem that people forget is the cost of the legal stuff. You know, I mean, for example, like something simple like Count Dankula, right? The amount of money. I mean, how many tens of thousands of pounds that were, you know, spent on some ridiculous, you know, legal case. Well, you imagine what you're doing, like in the States, especially the States, where, you know, lawyers do love their income. You know, and they are, you know, and they have all of this to go at. It's like a cash cow.
Oh, well, exactly, and people and they don't want to listen to it. People explain this. I tried to explain this to an idiot recently, right? When they were talking about, but most of the drugs, you know, comes through the port of entries. That's because you can't spend time at the port of entries if you're running around the whole freaking border to find them. You can't put enough resources at the border of entry. And the guy
Yeah, you
looked
don't-
at me like, but most of them come through the port. And I'm like, you really just don't get it, do you?
Yeah, I mean, the idea that they're thinking that the drug mules, right, these people who are willing to shove drugs up their arse or their cooch, whatever, you know, like that's really going to be that's how drugs get into America. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, these come in containers, for fuck's sake. Of course they do.
This shit
But
is
you
done
can't, if your
professionally.
resources are spread all along the border, you can't concentrate at the ports of entry where the mass numbers are going in there. You can't spend the
Yeah, and plus,
resources of the
look,
time.
I mean, but also, you know, you think that if you're doing some kind of illegal activity, chances are you're not going to go through the places where you're going to be, you know, most.
Oh no! What they do is exactly what this thing says. They'll get a group of migrants. They'll send them further down the line so that the border resources have to flow into there. And when you do that, the ports of entry, you've got to lower the amount of checking that goes on to let people go through, and that's when they come through.
Mhm. Yeah, you just call them black. Well, you know, you just
They're
divert
running their luck.
resources basically.
They're running their luck because it's although it's reduced, it's not completely removed. So there's still the chance that some of their people will be caught. Then
Yeah, but
again,
people are still trying to make it out like it's these drug mules, like people walking across with, you know, drugs up their ass and in the coochies and stuff like
Oh,
that.
they're
Like
flying
that's some
drugs
kind of,
in. They're doing all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
There's UAVs
exactly.
flying and dropping it and all sorts of
Mhm.
crap.
Yeah, exactly. Amazon, you can get it delivered.
I have to say, I am absolutely horrified at the fact that the government have actually left drones in the hands of civilians. This is just frighteningly stupid.
It's a legal case waiting to happen. I mean, again, the lawyers are absolutely drooling at this idea. It's like you're waiting for the first case of the you know, the poor sucker who got hit in the head with an Amazon drone.
Well, actually, I'm going for something a little bit darker than that. If they had actually banned drones, I mean, seriously, no dicking around, no get out of this. The only drones that would exist would be military and the police. Now,
Yeah.
right now, it is so easy for a bunch of terrorists to knock up some chlorine gas, shove them on drones, buzz them over a large area, lots and lots of terror.
No, yeah, but and it is. Yeah, I agree with you, Quinn. It's possible, but the fact is that we've already seen what their competency is, and they tend to either give themselves a hot foot or they burn their penis. So they haven't got a good history in terms of like sciences, because you know they still think that we should be living in 600s, you know, 600 AD.
I don't disagree,
So,
but one thing you need to remember is we're in a young person's world now. The kids, as for want of better, and I feel old saying that, and that's terrible, but the kids know their tech a lot more than adults would. Next
yeah, well,
generation, they are going to be using drones. We need to
Yeah.
stop this now.
You see, because when I was a kid, I had a remote control helicopter. You know, my
Did
brother
you put
had
a gun
remote
on it?
control plane. No, but you know, I wasn't thinking along those lines.
Back then, the next two
Yeah.
words you meant to say.
At the time, I wasn't thinking about it, but now.
In hindsight,
No, Quinn's right in that it's a matter of time before a mass casualty situation happens because of drones. It's a
It's
matter.
only well, but yeah, but it doesn't matter. It could be anything. I mean, like I said, with the way that it's going, you don't need a drone. I mean, the idea that a drone is significant in any way, shape, or form, that you know, because it's only a form of delivery, right? It could be delivered in a, you know, by fucking
Yeah, but the ability to deliver, it isn't just the ability to deliver. It's the fact that you've got a wide variety of from where you can deliver from. All right.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I can deliver this if I fly this drone over a sports stadium, for example. All right. I mean, think about it from that perspective, right? Where a lot of people are in crowds like that, you can now do that, whereas you couldn't do something like that as easily before. I'm just saying that sooner or later that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, there's a thought. You know, you have a self-destruction drone which explodes with sarin. You know,
Oh yeah, this is the thing.
that would
This
do it.
shit could be launched from the top of a block of flats. As simple as that.
Hmm.
All they need is a target area and the base materials. And the problem is drones ain't that expensive at the end of the day.
Like
And
these
that's the
buzzers on the
reason we
back
have
of
to
a
get the
pickup. Are you
people.
kidding me?
And
Sure.
that's the reason we have to get these people who don't want to be part of our country, who don't share our heritage, don't share our values. They need to be removed, and so that we can actually be more secure in our own environment. We don't need these people who are a potential threat. I mean, surely one of the major points of government's responsibility is to protect its citizenship.
That's one of its few actual legitimate responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. So it's.
Ain't Jack had an
You fuck
opinion.
off the people who are going to be like the people who give themselves hot foots and burn their underwear.
Kelby,
Guys, Ain't Jack has an opinion. I wouldn't use a drone to attack a sports stadium. Way too much stuff that can be traced back to me. Interesting to know.
Oh, it depends if you pay cash for a drone or something.
I just wanted to say that I was muted there for like 4 minutes and the echo was happening, so it's not me.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's gonna be. Well, it's not me because I got my headphones on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's you. Not you, voice. It's.
I think
Quinn.
it's Jensen.
It's definitely Quinn. Yeah, Quinn, you got the echo, dude.
Okay, so now what's the next story, voice?
We'll pull it up now.
Oh god, I hope it's about a woman getting tasered in the twat. That'd be funny. Please make it a tasered twat.
I wish we did have a twatty story, but no.
Damn it. Wishful thinking.
Antifa activist facing assault charges was tied to the Democratic policymakers. What a difference a year made for Joseph Alkoff. Fucking German. On Monday, the 37-year-old had a court date in connection with charges he's facing in Philadelphia that include aggravated assault and ethnic intimidation, for allegedly being part of an Antifa mob in November that attacked 2 Marines, Alejandro Gordenez and Luis Torres, both Hispanic. Alkoff, there's a lot of fucking foreigners in America. Alkoff and 2 others charged in the attack had pleaded not guilty. But while Democratic officials are distancing themselves from Alkoff now, until recently he was a well-connected, aspiring political player in Washington who may have even had a hand in key policy proposals. His endorsement apparently mattered when several congressional Democrats in February 2018 issued press releases with his quote backing their bill on regulating payday lenders. And here you see he's with who's that old dead black woman who's Congresswoman?
That's Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters, and apparently there's other ones there, but
another one is Sherrod Brown, is a senator from Ohio.
And look at him sitting grinning with all the Democrats. But remember, Democrats don't want violence. He was pictured with now House Finance Committee Maxine Waters, Senator blah blah blah, Senator Sherrod Brown. Alkoff met with CFPD Director Richard Corday and other senior CFPD officials on blah blah blah. Well, it's nothing really pertaining to what we're talking about. So,
Yeah, it just reminds me of Monty Python. We just need some like animated cartoon behind, while it's just playing.
The quote they said they liked, and in connection to the sudden attack, 2 Hispanic Marines said the Antifa mob of about 10 to 12. Good to see they're not, complete and total cowards. You know, I mean, at least they could have had the decency to go 2-on-2, but you know, racial slurs during the beating. Only 3 from the mob were identified and arrested. Well, we should beat the other 3 to tell us who else was there. The attack happened at the same time a right-wing rally in Philadelphia, which Antifa showed up to protest, and Marines who were assaulted said they were not even aware of the rally. So it was a Proud Boys, a racist group of Nazi thugs. No, they're not. On the other side, you have the actual racist thugs. Alcott's lawyer, Michael whatever, told blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
You see, now what I would do if I was the Proud Boys is I would add this guy's this lawyer's name to the lawsuit, all right, defaming them. Right now, they're charging the Southern Poverty Law Center and several other groups with defamation. They should add this guy's lawyer, all right, who came out and called them a racist hate group, add them right to the list of defaming them.
Yeah, slander is still a thing.
And he did it publicly. Right now, realize he's trying to defend his client, but he's lying about who these other people were, right? And what they were. It's time to go after them.
Mm-hmm.
I would literally encourage, since you've already got the lawsuit going, add this guy to it. Add this guy's name to it. Make it prominent. Let everybody know that you're adding this guy to it and why.
It's like
what he's doing, all right, in an attempt to defame these, to defame people.
MC, it's like a really weak version of the lock guy, the guy with the bicycle lock sort of thing. It's like a weak version of that.
Yeah, but this guy is politically connected. Once again, this big story here is the guy is politically connected directly to major players within the DNC. The problem with the problem with a lot of people is they just do not recognize that the press has lied to them to such a degree. All right, that these guys, these freaking racists, can act with impunity because they say, well, I'm a Democrat, so nobody looks at me as a racist, even though they are the modern home and they've been the home of racism from the very get-go. And they've convinced people that, oh, no, it's always the other side that's racist. Oh, no, it's the other side that's racist. You have an example. It's unfortunate that Wolfshot didn't show up today because I'd ask her who our governor is. And the reason is that Wolfshot goes, oh, yeah, the governor's going to resign. The governor's going to resign. And I told her, no, he won't. I said, and you watch what the press does. The press is going to start surrounding these guys and protecting these guys. What do you have going on right now? The governor of Virginia decided not to resign. And what are you hearing? Oh, he's a changed man. He's not really a racist. The press is all lining up behind him to back him. And he's going to get away for being the racist freaking scumbag that he is, all because he's got a D by his name.
No, he's a D-dog. So, yeah, mess with a D-dog. It is. It's pathetic. It's so sad. And people are still buying it.
Well, and that's the truly sad part is no one comes back and I mean, these stories are like by Breitbart and Fox News. Okay, great. But as soon as you say Breitbart or as soon as you say Fox News, the liberals turn off their brains. Oh, no, that can't be true. Then they're just lying. Because they've been told. If you hear it from Fox News or you hear it from Breitbart, they're lying to you because those are right-wing screeds and they're just lying.
Well, we have a left-wing publication next, so we can even it out.
Yay! Woohoo!
Okay, here we go. I'll try this again. This is from the Lefty Guardian. Labour says has looked into 673 cases of alleged anti-Semitism. Members have been suspended or formally investigated in 307 cases. But remember, Labour is the party of the people, unless you're Jewish. So, yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, but Jews aren't people, are they? I'm sorry, they just have it.
Really?
Cabby, your German heritage is showing through.
I mean, when you get
Monsieur, I can walk.
dude. Right.
Go
So,
on.
Labour is anti-Semitic. Ooh, I'm shocked. I really am. So over here, that to us is literally water's wet, fire's hot. Honestly, guys,
Yes,
I can't put.
It's like a fart in a jacuzzi.
yes, but here's the double standard, right? This is something that is extremely telling, right? Now, the Labour's governing national committee has around 40 of them have been asked to leave the party or being asked to leave. But I noticed even though people are being arrested for tweets, these 40 members were not reported to police. That's a bit strange.
Well, yes, isn't it just? I mean, especially this fucking Twitter police thing. Oh, jeez. I'm not even going to get started on that because I will go on a fucking rant for an hour.
Well, if it was a lesbian, maybe they only go after the straight Jews. If it was a lesbian Jew or a trans Jew, then maybe they'd have gone after him then.
No,
It's a trap.
Seriously, Labour could not have a much worse reputation apart from if they just turn around and go, screw it, we're changing our flag back, and the swastika turns up. That is the only way they could be considered more anti-Semitic. Cabby, do you agree?
I think it's all asinine, the whole fucking thing.
Okay.
I really do. Yeah, seriously, I don't understand why they're trying to bring this, stuff into it. I mean, whether there are anti-Semitic people, I mean, I don't know, possibly, but I don't know. I mean, I don't mean, maybe it's just because I'm just, dealing with people, but I don't hear people who have, even like I mean, just, you don't get many people when you meet them. They're not really racist, right? You don't get anyone who's jumping out and telling you that you've got to be, you got to subjugate yourself because of this. I mean, the media, it's all out there. This is the shit that we see on YouTube. But nobody's actively going out and trying to suppress anybody, as far as I'm aware. I haven't seen it. I don't know. I mean, I can only go on personal experience.
Well, I don't know about Labour in the UK, but you've got freaking congressmen today making all sorts of anti-Semitic statements to the point where they're being told to apologize. Even Nancy Pelosi told
but what passes for anti-Semitic these days? Just saying that you disagree with somebody who happens to be Jewish could be technically seen as anti-Semitic.
No. You've got to read what Ilmar has been basically saying. She is basically going off of every freaking every trope. She is a racist. Okay, and I mean an out and out racist. She has made a number of anti-Semitic statements, and no one had ever called her on it. And she's continuing to make these statements, and they're not going to be able to rein her in because she's a bigot, and she's a Democrat bigot. And the Democrats right now in this country are starting to feel a little bit of the pressure because it's getting to the point now where the press can't hide their bigotry anymore.
MC,
if you take a look, go ahead.
Triumph of the Will had an awful lot going for it. That's all I'm going to say.
The thing is where you're at a point now, all right, where they've gone beyond the pale, okay, and they can't. The press at this point, it doesn't. They've been so focused, and they've been so 100% focused on Trump. They forgot, all right, that there are problems outside of that, and they still don't want to look at it. They look at this as with Ilhan Omar, right, in the statements that she's made, and they say, you know what, it's still not as bad as Trump because Trump's bad. Well, what's Trump said that's like this? Well, he said, see you on the campaign trail, Liz.
Okay,
and he was talking about the Trail of Tears.
But MC, I mean, there is a significant Jewish voting bloc, right? I mean, you've got the what is it? American the AIPAC. The American Israeli whatever
Okay.
pack. I mean, there is a massive voting bloc which exists within the US that they were always courting because they've also got the money.
Well, no, see, that's over freaking blown. They don't have that much money. I'm not saying that there's not a lobbying group, but there's lobbying groups for everything under the freaking sun.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, I was just pointing out that I was just asking a question. You didn't have to freak.
No, but you sit up there and said, "Well, they've got all the money." They don't have all the money.
I didn't get up there and say they had all the money. I was asking a simple question. You just went completely fucking tonto. You went way off the way off the reservation.
All right, you think I went way off the rails? I did not go way off the rails, dude.
Come on, man.
It's the same thing that they always pull. It's the lobby, this lobby group or that lobby group. Meanwhile, they totally ignore CARE. All right, the Muslim lobby groups that are all over the freaking place, right? Of which CARE is only one of them. All right, you've got Hamas lobby groups. You've got tons of freaking lobby groups in this country. All right, to sit up there and say that the Jewish lobby group has an extraordinarily...
I didn't sit up anywhere and say it. I'm just pointing out the fact that there is a significant voting bloc.
They're not significant.
As a bloc.
Where do you come off making that statement that they are significant? What data do you have to back up that claim?
Based on the idea that every single president, or the ones that have got into power, have always presented themselves in front of AIPAC. In order to garner that particular vote, because they always have to say that they are pro-Israel, right?
But that has more to do with Christianity in the country than it has to do with the money. What?
Well, I was just saying, like I said, it's AIPAC, right? So it's the American-Israeli group.
So what?
And you're saying it's Christians, and I'm saying that they are a voting bloc. I mean,
no, they are
a massive lobby group. Well, they
are a lobby
group.
So what if there's a lobby group? There's tons of lobby groups.
And you lobby on behalf of the policies you want. So therefore, they obviously have some kind of policy criteria that they're pushing at some point.
And the Palestinians have a lobby group too.
Oh yeah, right. Like anyone's going to pay any attention.
I hate to tell you this, but freaking a whole lot of them did, especially Barack Obama, because he put them all throughout his freaking administration. If you bother to take a look at what CARE did, you would realize just how powerful during the Obama administration CARE actually was.
Certainly nothing close to AIPAC.
Oh, it has
been around for an awful long time.
AIPAC, which affected our policy toward Israel. If you don't, if you don't think that these groups have power, or that they're the only ones with power.
Well,
no, AIPAC.
You were the one who was claiming that AIPAC didn't have any power. Now you're claiming that another one does.
First of all, the Israeli, whether you like it or not, the Israeli group isn't just a group because of that. It's also a group because they've been an ally of the United States, and for the longest time, they were the only ally that we had in the entire region. So to sit up there and say, and plus, so you have a number of ties here that go beyond that. To sit up there and try and insinuate that they have all this kind of, you did insinuate it, Cabbage.
I am not doing sit-up.
You are not doing what?
Can you repeat that, please, Cabbage?
I didn't hear what he said at all. You were breaking up, Cabbage.
Not quite bad. Sorry.
Cabby, give your writer a kick. MC, I have to ask a question before I show the next story. Are you sitting down?
Yeah, I'm sitting down.
Have you got a stiff drink?
No. Do you want me to go get a drink?
Might
Well,
want
the next story might, not make you a happy bunny.
Nothing makes
The
him
news-
happy.
The news rarely makes me happy. Cabbage is right about that part.
Okay, well, let's jump on to the next story then. But you were warned. Elizabeth Warren wants to ban the US from using nuclear weapons first. The 12-word bill could change how America uses nuclear weapons. 2 weeks ago, a major national security bill was introduced in both houses of Congress and hardly anyone noticed. The bill introduced by Elizabeth Warren, chief and armed house services.
Pocahontas.
Huh?
Pocahontas.
Yes. Well, she's not anymore. We found out her lie. Not that it was hard to fucking find out, but
Yes, but she has a right to be seen that way because reasons.
But anyway, the No First Use Act, and it aims to transform the US nuclear weapons policy. The text of the bill is a single sentence. It is the policy of the United States to not use nuclear weapons first. But that single sentence might be a really big deal. Yeah, because if you don't use them first, you die. Period.
It's immaterial. It's an absolute immaterial bill.
If you have weapons, then you have to be willing to use them at whatever time that you need to use them.
The president is the
can't-
commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces. Congress has no say-so with the use of the weaponry that the military has. They can claim that they have use. They have the use. They can claim that they have the power. They can claim anything that they want. They don't. They have no ability to affect it. So
Well,
even
who
if they
holds the
pass
ball?
this ridiculous resolution,
MC.
it would have no force of law.
MC, who holds the ball?
Who holds the ball?
Yeah,
You're talking about the nuclear football?
yeah. Who holds the ball? I mean, that's-
the person who has it technically is a military officer directly under the president of the United States.
Exactly. It's the one who, and that's the person that is directly required by the commander-in-chief, right? The commander-in-chief. So that's the whole point. So he's effectively holding the ball. Somebody else happens to be, a valet. He's got a valet.
No, the president is the commander-in-chief. Even a bill like this, it's meaningless. It absolutely has no force.
Oh,
All it is
anyway.
is commentary to make people think, and then you get the press all behind it. Ooh, this could be a big deal. No, it's not a big deal. It's
Come on,
absolutely
Elizabeth
meaningless.
Warren has always been about trying to, just garner attention, however she can find it.
This is part of the anti-nuke crowd trying to sit up there and say, "Look, we're going to sit up there and listen to our lefty loony base, and look, we're actually trying to get things done," because everything that they've tried so far, they've gotten absolutely nothing done, and they're not going to get anything done.
MC,
Well, it's
can I-
like it's like the CND marches and stuff that used to happen over here. The people with the unilateral disarmament and all that. They're the same fucking cretins that support Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah, they are. Now, what were you going to say, Jensen?
just want to ask you a question. It's probably a stupid one, but it's something you'll know better than I would, being American. Let's say the president wakes up one morning and today is just a bad day and he decides he wants to nuke North Korea. How quickly can that happen?
No, you can't.
How quickly can it happen? Theoretically, if the right people are in place that don't question his orders, because they'll get questioned, all right, it could happen within 5-10 minutes.
I think we might have a looking glass moment at that time.
Oh, I don't disagree. I'm just
The theory behind it is the president, could he order a nuclear strike? All right, unilaterally. Technically, theoretically, yeah, he could. Now, in reality, people will start immediately questioning what's going on. Okay, you got to remember, we have to obey the lawful orders of those appointed over us. People would question whether or not it's lawful, all right, to launch an unprovoked nuclear attack.
Yeah, exactly. If the guy just wakes up and says, "I just wanted to do this today," I think somebody is going to get some kind of medical attention for the guy. Some kind of psychological, evaluation that's going to go on as to whether or not he's still competent to be the American president.
I don't
Exactly.
disagree. If effectively, my question would probably be worked like this: he goes over, he speaks with Kim Jong Un, things go bad. Okay, I'm just gonna get blunt. Things go bad. He turns around, he gets back on his plane, he buggers off. How long does North Korea have before it glows in the dark?
It would have to go. It would have to go for more than just badly. All right,
Yeah, well, this is the
they
thing,
would
yeah,
have to be.
America-
They would have to be going to war with us.
Exactly, and America has said that they won't use first nuclear action.
Yes, we did. No, we've always reserved the right for the first nuke strike.
Well, okay, yeah, you reserve the right to do it, but you don't, you're not promoting the idea that you're actively, aggressive in with the nuclear.
That is true. I mean, obviously, with any of the NBC
It's
stuff,
a gray area.
we've put 3 delineations out. All right. When it comes to biological weapons, we have said we will never use biological weapons, regardless of whether or not biological weapons are used against us. Okay.
Not even the gay bomb.
We have said that if we won't use chemical weapons first, however, we reserve the right to respond with chemical weapons if chemical weapons are used against us. And we have reserved the right for a first nuclear strike if it comes to that. But the reality is we're not going to do any of that, all right, unless the situation, all right, is so dire that you don't have a choice. In which case, how much is anybody really going to care if one is used? If the United States is in such a dire predicament that it actually uses a nuclear weapon, people aren't going to care.
Fair play. Okay. Thank you for that answer. It was just something I was curious about. Effectively, we are literally 5 minutes away from everything glowing in the dark. Interesting to know. Thank you.
If it comes to that, yeah.
Hey, I'm not saying it's likely to happen, but do you know something? It's good that people know approximate timelines. It gives people, it gives them a chance to know, yep, I have 5 minutes left. They get to have 5 minutes of doing something they actually want to do. Is that better?
They're not going to have 5 minutes from the time that they hear about it. If it came down to something like that, the first they're going to know that there was a nuclear strike is they see a bright flash in a freaking mushroom cloud off in the distance.
Okay, fair point.
Now, those kind of weapons are, we do have first strike type of weapons to be able to get them on station and launch them and so forth. I mean, a nuclear tipped missile, an ICBM launched from the United States to go all the way across, all right, to hit the Soviet Union, for example, or Russia, all right, you're looking at least 20 minutes, but that's simply because of the distances involved.
And an ICBM is not a single delivery mechanism. I mean, you got 12 warheads?
You have 12 to 16
It's a cluster. Yeah, exactly. It's a cluster. So you're going to have a dispersal pattern.
So basically, we have, let's call it 30 minutes before everything gets really, really exciting in the world.
Yeah.
Things would, I don't know about exciting, but interesting. Disturbing, maybe.
People will be out there trying to pull out their old copies of Fallout. How does this work again? What do I need to do?
Fallout 76. That would be a real fucking good idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Here, it's a training manual for your kid. Don't worry about it.
And then give them Battlefield 5 with some woman with a fucking artificial arm. That will really teach them.
Cabby, did you see the hat that Fallout 76 gave away on their special edition?
No, I don't know. No, I saw the bag that they did, and they fucked that up because it was just some weird acrylic thing, the nylon nonsense.
No, they actually made a almost decent looking hat The problem is I can see the idiots out there thinking it will actually save them from the radiation.
Wouldn't surprise me.
There are some real morons out there. I will admit that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that when you're wearing your radiation, quote unquote, radiation safety badges when you're working on some of my,
they think it protects them.
They do. They think that's exactly right. They honestly think it's going to protect them, and it's like, no, dude. Retarded. This is for us to say, yeah, he received this much of a dose.
Yeah, this is how much we've got to treat you by.
This will tell us whether or not treatment's even worthwhile. You know, and then you got these other people who believe that iodine tablets are going to prevent you from catching cancer, and it's like, no, the iodine tablets.
No, man, it's all about the thyroid.
I mean, it will protect certain because the whole purpose is to protect pills. Those pills will remove a lot of the radioactivity, which once again will reduce it into a certain level with certain organs. But if you're that far exposed, no, it isn't going to save you.
Oh, no, it's not going to help you in a nuclear reactor that's going to melt down. No, it's not a Fukushima solution.
Yeah, you don't take iodine pills and walk into Fukushima and think I'm all well and good.
Yeah, but guys, in the 50s, they made sunglasses so good you could stare at a nuke and get no damage to you whatsoever.
That's not a problem. No, that says polarized. It's Polaroid.
Your eyes would not receive, would not be damaged as far as your retinas would go from that. It didn't stop the radiation from bathing your body.
No, exactly.
It's
a different issue. Yeah, I mean the radiation. But you could certainly watch it. You could watch it, with polarized sunglasses. That's not a problem.
Darkened sunglasses will protect your eyes in that regard, but the reality is it's not going to save you from the radiation. And depending upon how close you are to the radioactive source and the type of weapon that was used. All right.
I suppose.
Well, but on the upside, you will be able to fly.
or smash.
We sent thousands of U.S. military troops walking into the mushroom cloud. None of them, though, developed flight capabilities. We don't know why.
Well, you don't know. They could be. I mean,
it's part of the hidden. They could be at Area 51.
I do know this. And you want to know why I know it? Because they stopped doing it. If people were coming out with the freaking ability to fly, they would be sending every freaking soldier that they could possibly get their hands on would have to go through this process at some point.
Hang on, that's actually wrong, because you see, if you're building a super soldier, you don't build so many that they could actually overtake your country. You only build a few.
No, you don't understand how the military thinks. The military is like, ooh, one was good, 10 will be better, thousands are great. That's how they think.
Well, maybe that's where all the appropriations and the missing $2 trillion is.
They'd be missing hundreds of millions of soldiers as well.
Well, yeah, but that's where they're feeding them. You see, superheroes. They have high standards.
So babies aren't really being aborted; they're just being radiated to see whether or not they get superpowers. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
600,000 babies that are killed every year from abortion.
Actually, that might actually work, because if you think about it, no, hang on. Evolution, right, changes our body to deal with different situations. Therefore, if you irradiate one family line and keep doing it just a little bit at each time and slowly build it up to the point where, that could take hundreds of years, but you could actually, evolve a radioactive person,
Yeah, but I mean, I was thinking, the lunatics, they would think that. It's like, let's, chuck our baby in a microwave, or, give it 3 minutes on high.
Cabot, don't make suggestions that morons are going to follow.
Opinions made on this show are not necessarily.
Man Dodge Production does not recommend microwaving your children.
But they might get superpowers. You never know.
No, they might not. They are not going to get superpowers.
You never know. You never know.
I just want to say to everybody living in California, you see when you see that big mushroom crowd go off, that's not a nuclear bomb. That's just a big giant shroom. walk toward it.
I don't agree, so.
Now, honestly, idiots microwave your children.
You're gonna get his channel struck out, and he didn't even do anything, Cabbage. Good grief.
I know. I'm misunderstood.
Well, if the host isn't here to defend himself on his show, you know.
No, that's what Jensen's here to do. He's the moderator.
You see, to everybody who's against immigration, see what happens when a bunch of foreigners show up.
Microwave babies. It's either that or oven.
They're only one step away
other.
from microwaving your children. Don't let the illegal aliens in.
It's microwaves or ovens. It's just a matter of efficiency.
And also to the idiots, listen, if you want to be trans black, put yourself in an oven.
Oh, and down we go. Is that a new form of blackface? Or I should have said that.
Well, we are when they come out.
But they're still pink in the middle.
Well, 20 minutes per pound. Plus 20
I like the
minutes.
fact that people are discussing casual cannibalism here. This is good.
Nobody's talking
mentioned
about eating
them.
anybody. You're the one who brought the eating part.
Yeah, you're the sick bastard. We were just talking about killing them. You're the one who wants to eat them, you sick fuck.
Yeah, you cooked them. Come on. Why waste food?
He expects them to fly afterwards. fly, be free. Thud. Oh, this one didn't make it.
That's just a horrifying.
It's like, I do remember there was a story a while ago about a woman. I mean, I don't think it was even a poem. I really believe that because it was long enough ago before like Reddit and stuff. And she put a chihuahua into a microwave to dry it off after he got walking.
Yeah, the thing had gotten, they'd washed the dog and they stuck it in the microwave to try and dry it off. I mean, you think about the poor pooch. I mean, you would think that the squealing that would happen would clue you in that this is not a safe thing. I can't see the dog being happy about getting stuck in a microwave to begin with.
No, it's definitely not. It's natural environment. It's not natural habitat for a dog.
Well, on the upside, at least, after the experience, they had a nice roast.
Maybe some, roast potatoes and a few string beans or something.
Yeah, but you have to really think,
Asparagus.
how could someone be that fucking stupid?
Oh, very easy. Just lack of education and, just watching moronic TV.
Well, no, if you've ever used a fucking microwave and you put a cold food in and it comes out piping hot, you would think, yeah, no, that wouldn't be good for animals.
Yeah, but that's but they're not thinking about it from the inside. They're thinking about it from the outside. It's like,
wait,
it gets hot on the inside. It must get hot on the outside.
He's not wrong about this because when you think about it, you don't see them going, I've got to dry my dog off. Let me throw it into the bonfire. Okay? I mean, think about this.
Yeah, but that's because, burn the fur. No, they're thinking that one through because it's going to burn.
So basically, MC.
They can relate to flames.
No,
they have no understanding of what microwaves are.
Yes, but basically, MC, you're saying that they need a visual. So basically, you have to paint flames on the outside of a microwave. So they can connect that, this is bad.
Pimp your microwave.
Pimp your
I've
microwave.
asked you to do a story. It's in Discord.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got another news story coming up. Oh, this should be amusing.
Ooh. Giddy. Why is nobody else here? Why is it just us four? I think
we scared everyone else away.
We band of brothers.
It's the British invasion.
We didn't scare people away. I think when Cabby started to say microwave babies, people left.
It was not a commandment. It was
Now
just a
Mad Dog shows
suggestion.
up and goes, "What? Yeah, you missed a good section of this, Mad Dog. You should have been paying attention."
It was not a commandment. It was just a suggestion. Well, I mean, not really. Well,
He was suggesting placing people in microwaves so that they could.
That's just Mod. You know, this might be one of your streams. You might want to edit afterwards.
yeah, you might want to reassess this. You know, like your decision-making process.
Okay, this is a story that Maddie wants us to view. Convicted
Man,
Bristol Palin stalker hired by Alaska Democrat. So I'm guessing this is Bristol Palin because, yeah, that's her porn star mom. So a Democrat.
hang
Hey,
on.
I've seen the video. It was definitely her.
Sarah Palin is
Democrat-
now a porn.
Now I saw a Palin porn thing. It was a total rip.
Is this the retard one
Bollocks.
or the normal one?
Yeah, I got ripped off. I wanted to see her getting her absolutely. I wanted to see her getting absolutely hammered, but it didn't happen.
Hang on.
It was a lie.
Be quiet for a minute, Kevin.
Okay.
A fucking advert. How do I get rid of this fucking thing? I don't want odd choices. I want it to go away. A Democrat Alaska state senator has contracted with a man convicted of felony stalking the daughter of former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. Peter Paul Ferrero was arrested in September 2014 and charged with felony stalking of Bristol Palin after climbing onto a third-story balcony of her house. Are you sure he just wasn't there to get some? He approached her when she arrived home to find him on the property and she fled. Blah, blah, blah. Ferrero had been hired as Alaska state legal page but was dismissed long before, according to Alaska, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but who hired him? Where would jump down? Democrat State Senator Tom Betsch, whose brother, former U.S. Senator Mark Betsch, fucking Canada's full of foreigners too, has a contentious history with former government Palin, contracted Ferrero for work despite the short-lived page position. So basically what I'm getting from this is that, where's the picture? For fucking adverts, boy. So apparently another Democrat hired someone to stalk Palin's daughter.
It wasn't Palin's daughter. Didn't she go like, you know, transgressive or something? I don't know. She went and didn't she get pregnant? And I mean, I don't know. The Palin family has.
She did get pregnant with her boyfriend.
And wasn't he
Outside of wedlock,
somebody who
which
was
they have to say
inappropriate?
is guaranteed that her and her spawn will go to hell.
Why? Any particular reason? Just
Out of wedlock. Jesus, you bunch of heathenist Americans.
Oh, is it? I'm not American. Fuck you. How dare you? How very dare you?
Well, I pluraled Americans, but since we only have one American here, he has to take all the blame himself.
I got broad shoulders. Bring it.
About that whole tea business in Boston.
Yeah, what about it? Want some tea?
Well, you could have actually, used it. I mean,
We
don't
did.
be stupid. You could have sold it.
Yeah, why didn't you just have
Why-
orange juice
why
if you
did-
didn't want tea?
Sold it to who?
If you didn't like the taxes on the tea, just have orange
Well,
juice.
the Californians, MC,
Yeah, no.
they'd have bought your tea.
There's always
It
water.
wasn't in California back then.
Well, I'm sure it
I
was
don't
still
understand
hated
why- I don't
generously.
understand why you hate the tea. What is wrong with it? Don't hate the tea. The tea didn't do nothing.
The tea did so much to us that we decided we don't even drink it in the United States anymore.
Well, exactly, but the tea didn't do
For the
nothing.
most part, we freaking drink
Yeah,
drink
see.
coffee for a reason.
you owe tea, you owe tea something, probably.
Yes, they didn't want to, buy tea from the enslaved Indians, so they just decided to buy coffee from the enslaved Africans.
Yeah, well,
Like
you
the
know.
Africans, they were Turks.
Well, no, also Colombians. As well,
Well, no,
coffee.
They became Colombians later on, but Turkey is actually where coffee initially came from.
Is that where it's indigenous? No, can't be. I mean, it was always in.
Yes, it can be.
No, it was always no. It was in South America to be,
No,
like at the time
no,
as well.
it was Turkey. It was Turkish coffee. Turkish
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah. They had coffee, but I'm just saying that the coffee bean was definitely in South America.
I'm sorry. No, sorry, MC, but you are wrong. It actually originated from Ethiopia in 850 AD.
And it wasn't controlled by freaking Turkey at the time. The Ottoman.
Okay, well, explain to me then how the fuck did those coffee beans, right? Because if it's not indigenous to South America, if it's at that
Well, how
time,
did it get over?
how the fuck did it ever get over to these
I don't know.
countries
It's not
that
like
have
the
it as a
British
cash
Empire
crop?
didn't sail around the world and plant all over the place.
Yeah.
How the hell do you think it got over there?
No. It could have been birds, so they could shit the sea.
It could have
There's options. There are different ways. No fuck with me, MC.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm telling you now. Feeding chips, literally. There you go.
It's aviation.
Question is,
you know what it must have been? It must have been the French aviators. They just got lost.
no, come on, let's be honest, Cabby. Is it a European or an African swallow that did it?
It depends. And then, well, they could use they could use a string to hold it together.
Anyway.
No, you can't go wrong with Monty Python. It's always a good quote.
Done, didn't it?
Okay,
Right.
what's the next story, Voice? I'm sure you have one queued up somewhere.
I'm making tea. Shall be right back.
No, I've used the stories that were left, but that was it.
Okay.
Those are the stories that Mad had given you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So we're out of stories.
Well,
Okay.
hang on.
Well,
I'll
good
go
time for me
look.
to go and make tea then.
So you need somebody to find stories? Is that what you need to look for?
Yes, please.
Well, okay. Well, let's pull up this one.
Thank you very much. I'd like you noted I was left dealing with this, so any help is appreciated.
Did you put the link in Discord, MC?
No.
Well, how am I going to pull it up?
Who said you're going to pull it up? There,
Oh.
I pulled it up. I'll put it in the link, though, on the side chat here, though. There we go. Now that's in the side chat. All right. Let's read the story from the Iowa Democrats take a caucus in a virtual world. Iowa Democrat leaders Monday announced a new option for registered party voters to take part in caucus night. The plan calls for a virtual caucus that will take place over several nights leading up to the precinct caucuses, which will be accessible by phone and smartphone app. What could go wrong here?
I just want to say, MC, if you scroll up a little bit, I believe this this caucus that's taking place in cyberspace is actually what is ever in those cookies.
You think it's the brownies right here?
Yeah.
These are the brownies presented by Mad Dodge Productions.
Very nice.
The virtual caucus will essentially serve as an additional county in each congressional district in Iowa and represent 10% of each district's representation at the state convention. Users of the virtual caucus will be able to select their top 5 preferences for presidents and choose whether they want to put forth their name as a possible delegate and submit the platform proposals to be adopted by the party. The Iowa Democrat Party has always sought ways to improve our caucuses process, and today we are setting the stage for the 2020 Iowa caucuses to be the most accessible, transparent, and successful caucuses in our party's history. No, what you're setting yourselves up for is called massive voter fraud. That is what you are setting yourselves up for. Because I guarantee you there'll be plenty of people who have the Iowa Caucus app that are in Iowa. And how are you going to prove otherwise?
Well, this is they've been trying to do this. I mean, go back to the days of look at the Bush election. You know, where the CEO of that electronic voting company, not Sequoia, it was the other one, the big one. Who makes the voting machines? You know the one. You know the concept.
Yeah,
anyway.
but I mean, this kind of freaking. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, you turn it into an app. No, that's the way it is.
Put on a
Yeah.
phone.
Well, why not? Yeah, I mean, fuck
What do you
it.
mean, why not?
Well, I'm saying they're turning politics into effectively like, Reach for the Stars or
This is
some
a joke.
fucking TV show. Yeah, this is what it's turned into. Yeah, because nobody pays attention to anything. So why are you surprised? I don't get it. It's been going this way for a long time. I said it ages ago to say, well, why don't just all you got to do is phone it in. Phone in your vote. Who's ever going to be able to validate it? Like Stalin said, I don't care who votes. I just care who counts the votes. Right? You don't have to validate any of this shit anymore. They don't give a fuck. I mean, this is the reason that Brexit. I don't believe that Brexit was that close. I really don't. I think those numbers were fiddled.
I have to say that I think this virtual world meeting, I don't know why they just can't say a meeting, they have to say a caucus, but I have to say this meeting will be about 1 or 2 times, and then someone will get done for sexual something wrong.
Yeah, very probably. That's very true.
I thought I was just voting on the dating app, and look who I voted for.
That's it. I thought it was Tinder.
That's what they're gonna. You laugh, but that's the kind of stupid shit they'd say.
Oh, yeah,
oh, this person won. He's a Nazi. We can't have that. Well, how'd you vote? Well, I think I was voted on the Tinder app, and I accidentally voted for the wrong person.
Yeah.
I wasn't reading the ballot correctly. That's what they tried in Florida. I'm surprised Florida. This is the Florida Democrats trying this one. To be honest.
Come on, Florida. I mean, that was the home of the pregnant Chad, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Guys, I just want to make a point here. At what point are you so sad in your life that you look at your phone on Tinder and put upvote for Nancy Pelosi? Come on. How bad is your life?
The weird thing is, Nancy Pelosi, when she was in
I can't say that I would ever be in that kind of a position, but I mean, you can. There are plenty of people on Twitter you could ask, because there's plenty of them on there.
No, seriously, she was doable. Like back when she was in 20s.
And you see the picture.
She was
now. And you click yes.
There's Cabbage. Oh, I just remember what she was like when she wasn't dry and bony.
Exactly. I was like,
Cabbage, you have some serious problems, dude. You really do have some serious problems.
I will not deny that. I think we all take that as read. I think that's been established over a period of time. Some damaged goods.
Now, don't get me wrong. I understand where you was going with the base concept, but I just want to point out: at what point in your life, Cabby, would you ever put a yes vote on Boris Johnson on a Tinder app? Really? Come on.
Well, never. I mean, why would I? I'm not gay. What the fuck are you talking about, you freak?
The point is you're talking about people clicking an upvote by accident.
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't be on a gay app that is presenting me with men. I'd be on something with women's. With the women's.
You can't.
Why would
like
Boris ever
that does lead to an interesting question, though. Does that mean that the Tinder app, which sits up there and basically is saying, we're going to sit up there and meet you up with or match you up with a different man. Is that by definition exclusionary and therefore racist?
No, Tinder is not called Tinder. Tinder is Sluts or Us.
Oh, Tinder is Sluts or Us?
Wow.
Yes,
Oh, that's Sluts or Us, and
Conversation.
Shirati turns up. Wow, that's a surprise.
No,
The
the only
slut
reason
appears.
Okay. I've been with my husband for 11 years, so you can fuck right off.
Yeah, but he doesn't know
Anyway.
what you get up to in your free time, does he? Yeah.
Abby,
Sorry, yeah, I'm gonna. I'm only fucking about.
Anyway.
You can tell what kind of day Cabbage
from,
is having.
I just heard from my husband that there was
It's
a
Monday.
British lady who got arrested because she called some tranny on Twitter a man.
Yeah. There's loads of those. Oh yeah, the police force can't get enough of Twitter fucking arrests. I mean, they can't arrest anyone who's actually raping anyone or doing anything with any badness, but they can go after Twitter people.
But at least we're not tasing people's bollocks.
Well, they probably would if they. Yeah. Well, don't forget that first time when they released, tasers to the. I think it was what was it? Sheffield Police Force.
yeah.
The first time they had them, and it was a guy who was back from. He was back from Afghanistan, and they ended up tasing a fucking soldier who was just trying to celebrate, returning home. See, you
How
can't
is that
trust cops.
celebrating returning home with gunfire?
Dude, your country's fucked.
I'm telling you, it is going very odd. It really is. It's very strange.
I'm sorry, but Sherrod, you can't say that as long as you're still connected to California.
It's like California's an excuse for an awful lot of things here.
You know
It's
what?
not
If the
ready
lake was, if the lakes were
indictment.
just a little bit more, well, if there was just one more lake below my state, I'd be a fucking island.
Well, that's what we're meant to be, and we can't get a fucking peace.
You guys freaking dug a tunnel to the French.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people didn't want that to even happen. They never asked us. There was no referendum on that one because I guarantee you everyone would have said, fuck off. Nobody wanted that.
Well, then blow it up.
Well, I'm sure there are death
MC,
charges. I'm
you
sure
know
there are
what?
charges set there.
MC,
Ready.
you
All
do
you need is the
know
right
here.
frequency. Hit
I
the
mean-
right frequency and they'll go boom.
I mean, surely, MC, you know someone who might or may not own a sub who might or may not have torpedoes.
You don't need torpedoes. I'm saying that it's already going to be rigged, so you just need to get the right frequency.
Or we just get a Russian drunk and he can, drive his boat into the fucking tunnel.
Drive his boat into the tunnel? What the fuck? How does that happen?
Just convince a jihad.
It's just like, we need Nemo.
In the tunnel. Just scream Allah Akbar real loud.
Is that cultural appropriation?
Do we?
Maybe.
No, MC hasn't culturally appropriated the Allahu Akbar unless he actually does blow himself up. Only then is it cultural appropriation.
No halfway marks with this. Come on, do it properly.
So he's halfway marked with the Allah Akbar and halfway marked with the Jews.
Wow.
Yes, MC's a very
but
confused
he's diverse. You see, he's a diverse individual. You can't. Isn't that what it's all about? Diversity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very,
See
very
how it works? Yeah.
People, we're actually safe in Britain. B is willing to crash a spacecraft into the tunnel to save her.
Yeah, well, she's
Sorry.
willing to harpoon a moron too.
She does want to put a harpoon on the spaceship. That is true.
B, when did
Yeah.
you want to shoot me? I don't understand why you hate me so much.
Not you, the guy that was on CSG's show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking
Well,
of,
yeah, good reason.
what was that guy's name that was on the show?
Dick.
I don't know. He's a Romanian.
No, I'm not joking.
Dix. Dixx.
I wasn't
Well, he was
joking.
a fucking dick. You see, that's the whole point. I'm telling you, the guy was trolling. Seriously.
No, I mean, you think he was trolling? I think he's serious. That's, believe it or not, there's a lot of stupid people out there, man.
No, I know. Yeah, but the thing was, every time he got caught out where he was actually arguing CSG's point, he ended up having to backtrack and stuff like that. He realized he'd been caught out and stuff. No, he was a troll. Seriously. I mean, he didn't have anything to, I mean, if he was a real, like, hardcore person who believed in what he was saying and stuff, he would have had, you know, serious arguments, but he wasn't. He was just throwing out sort of like trigger points.
Serious arguments.
He just threw out trigger points. That's all it was. There was nothing there. There was
That's
nothing
all they
substantive.
ever are.
Well, either way.
You see the left actually engage in an actual discussion on the issues. You may see it once in a blue moon, and then you'll never see it again. There's reasons why they don't sit up there and come on shows to actually discuss these issues. And it's not because, well, I don't want to give these guys a platform. It's because you can't discuss the issues. The left doesn't discuss the issues.
People,
Mhm.
he's got his Twitter name. It's Dix_LEL, in case you want to take a look yourself.
Okay, and he's also Romanian. And the thing I was pointing out was that Romania is a net recipient of, you know, subsidies from the EU. So, of course, he's more than happy with this thing. He's never been to any other countries. I think, well, somebody said he's been to 2 countries in his entire life. And he's talking about cultural identity. He's never experienced them. You know, he has no fucking idea. I mean, this is the thing. He can't even... I mean, how can he do that if he hasn't, you know, gone to, say, Germany and Spain and Italy and, you know, Switzerland or, you know, and just seen how different people interact and stuff. I mean, it's a fucking child. The guy is a child. I don't know how old he is. He sounded like he was 16 years old or something.
He did sound like he was very young, all right? But the other problem, of course, is the way he was describing things. It's like you don't even understand what a culture is. You don't even know what a subculture is.
Man.
You have no points of reference of how culture came into existence to begin.
Well, you see, you know, that's the really funny thing. When he was going on about Wessex and Essex and things like that, it's like, yeah, they were, you know, because at the time that's, you know, you're going back to the 1700s or whatever. Well, yeah, people didn't travel exactly, you know. I mean, everyone was on a cart, you know, and a horse. It's not like people got around, you know.
Well, when you had back at Wessex and Sussex and in those time frames, they were parcels of land that were divided because the lords of those regions were the ones that were handing it.
Well, no, he was true on that one. Is that they were kings, you know? Like, I mean, this is the whole point about
I wouldn't say that they were kings.
No, they declared themselves kings, and this is the whole point about, you know, the sort of, you know, the wars that went on in order to create the, you know, the kingdom.
Is it time he was king's comment? Let's be fair.
What?
Oh, come on, really?
What? Sorry, I missed it.
Oh,
I don't know, you broke up.
We was kings. The that situation.
But that's the way that it was. Each county was a kingdom in its own right. And then it went through, and this is the whole point about the unification of England, which was the, you know, the different kingdoms coming together. And they, you know, and then you ended up with the single royal, you know, lineage. That's how it worked.
They were all because they were conquered. All right. I mean,
no, they weren't. It wasn't that they were conquered. No, they would, you know, you know, set their sword, you know, in favor of that, you know, of the royal line.
It was still warfare that determined the vast majority of that. How much military power for when you would then sit up there. I mean, when you're a king, the only differentiation between a king and a lord is whether or not the king is a vassal. And then it gets so convoluted of King of England, but also a vassal like the French king, which is what William the Conqueror was technically he was a vassal of the French king in the area of Normandy, but in England he was king. So you have a lot of these alliances, and let's be perfectly honest, the vast majority of those alliances, if you go back far enough, all come down to some kind of lineage when it comes to family lineage of some sort. That there's some kind of family ties with all of them.
Well, yeah, but that's what this guy didn't seem to understand, was that there was. But again, that comes down to cultural, elements, and he didn't think there was any such thing basically as culture. I think that was what he was arguing with CSG. He's a bizarre character. Like I said, he needs to get out and go and do some traveling. He'll actually learn about, the cultures.
Points of commonality between different groups. That's what a culture does. And the more commonality you have, the better. So the first common thing that you're going to need in order to establish a culture is a common language.
Yeah, but you also have commonality in terms of just, sort of legal concepps, or the way in which your society operates, which is
generally let's be honest, most people, most of what we look upon as a judicial system at some point in time, whether it's Western, Eastern, or wherever the hell you want to talk about, stems out of religious practices. It stems at some point from some kind of religious overlay. All right, that then begins to divorce itself in the secular framework, right? That's what you're dealing with. All right, if you go back to the laws of England, let's be honest, they all tied back to the supremacy of the church and the fact that the king himself was the vicar of Christ in that regard. He was God's chosen representative.
That's where his authority still stands to this day. It still stands to this day. When somebody is crowned, that they, declare themselves the protector of the faith. Although, having said that, Prince Charles wants to change it to the protector of the FDS.
He wants to change it to what?
The protector of the faith.
Right. No, I know it is the protector of the faith. What does Charles want to make it say?
He wants to add the S to make it the faith.
Or the faiths?
Yes, pluralize.
Okay, so what faith does he plan to export?
Well, no, that's the whole point.
You broke up really bad, Cabbage.
Not my fault.
No worries, mate. It happens.
This is Google.
Yeah.
But no, I've been saying he wants to go on and do the face, which means that he is including every kind of religion, which doesn't make any sense anyway.
Well, of course not, because at that point right there, which one are you going to sit up and say dominates? Which one, when the two come into conflict, which one are you going to side with? Because they're going to come into conflict.
Yeah,
they don't all agree.
Robot. Roboting really bad.
It's not me.
Yeah, it is you, Cabbage. I mean, we can't hear you because all we're getting out of you is and then
it's
at the
never
end.
Cabby. It's never Cabby's fault. He's a happy-go-lucky scamp who never does anything
exactly.
wrong.
A happy-go-lucky scamp? Did you just say he was a happy-go-lucky scamp?
Yeah.
Of course I did. He's a happy-go-lucky scamp who never does anything wrong.
She understands me.
I'm sorry, Charity, but I believe the proper phrase to describe Cabby is cantankerous old cunt.
Well, that works too, but it's two ends of the scale.
I think the connotations are a bit different between the two, don't you think? Happy-go-lucky scamp?
Exactly. I like the paradox.
You're a loony.
It's beautiful.
Yes, he's only a happy-go-lucky scump when he's dressed up as Gabriella.
Oh, that was gorgeous voice. I love that. Cabby, do you have your
When did
camera
I
turned on again?
Black out. When did this-
I'm only hearing syllables here, Cabby.
Wow, he's breaking up so bad, it's frightening. Sorry, dude. It's not even a joke anymore. We can't work out what you're saying. F5 or whatever it is you have to do.
There's a phrase on my lips. Learn to.
Oh, dude. Really?
Don't listen to where voice wants you to press the lips. You just don't want to hear where he wants you to press your lips.
Hey, I
Oh, wow.
just persecuting handicapped person.
Oh, you mean MC?
Now I'm a handicapped person.
No, when
Well,
Cabby
you
says
are
fuck
elderly.
you,
Oh, the decrepits.
no, when Cabby says fuck you, it's not directed at any one person. It's more of a general insult.
It is absolutely.
I figured it
society
was. If
in
I'm a
general.
handicapped person, I'm in a wheelchair. I look a lot like that doctor on How I Loved the Bomb. Peter Sellers.
I have heard you wheeze. I've heard you wheeze plenty of times.
Yes. I'm a wheezer.
Yeah, you got that iron
Oh,
lung.
I've been hearing you wheeze a lot lately, MC.
Well, I have had a cold. That is.
No, I think MC, if you're in a wheelchair, you'd look more like Ironside.
And
Oh,
you
Tonka.
still have your shotgun yelling, "Get off my lawn!"
I look like Tonka. I'm like Tonka. Thanks, Kevin. It's always nice to have friends such as yourself.
No,
I'd
let's be honest. He's
probably
nothing like Tonka. MC would show up for a fight.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true.
that-
Even
that
in
I
a
would do.
wheelchair. Yeah,
That was absolutely ridiculous.
it was. It was.
If you're gonna call
moronic.
somebody out, and you're gonna go as soon as you start going through that process. It's like, okay, you know you're gonna show up, even if you get your ass beat. You know you're gonna show up.
Yeah,
You
but that's the
can't-
thing. Even if you you sort of just bow out or whatever, you just don't.
Well,
I mean,
even
it's just the whole shit that went wrong with it.
unfortunately, okay.
I mean, the name changing. What the fuck was with the name?
That's
changing?
all bullshit. And what's more is even if something odd does happen and somebody says, well, the paperwork wasn't right, you still show up. You
I tell
still
you-
got to show up. You still got to present yourself.
I think the reason that he submitted a different, blood, presentation, whatever you do.
Mhm.
I think that's because he was trying to get someone in as.
You think it's trying to get a ringer in?
Yeah, I think he was going to do a ringer. He really thought he was going to do that, and then he could claim victory. Yeah, it was that was a ringer, and he didn't think it through because obviously he got caught out, and then he changed his name as well. I mean, talk about a bullshit merchant. It's the most pathetic thing ever. It really is. It's the saddest man. And I can't believe he actually has the brass neck to still come out and have his channel and doing his fucking his wrestling bullshit. That guy's been dropped. Well, I tell you what, maybe he is a wrestler. Maybe he's been dropped on his head way too many times.
Well, you see, the way I would have done it is, if someone challenged me for a fight and they showed up, I'd be sitting across the street with a 308. But
You're Irish.
Oh crap! You wouldn't have a 308. It would just be a freaking little button with a freaking antenna on it.
Exactly.
About to have spoons.
We some C4 under somebody's chair.
Not that we're
But
advocating doing this. I just want that stated before anyone gets any funny ideas.
Nobody's promoting violence.
Yes, you are.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I've lost track.
we're not promoting violence. We're teaching common sense.
Yeah,
bigger
microwave babies is common sense. Yeah, somehow I don't think that quite applies.
Well, it's like this. If you're going into a fight and you don't know if you're going to win, choose a different way to win.
Well, isn't that where he should have chosen the microwave? I mean, think about it, you know. I mean, if he wants to develop superpowers, right?
Yeah, he could have microwaved.
Didn't someone suggest this to him?
I think it'd be more advantageous if we put Tonka in an oven.
You don't want to
Happy
do
days.
that. The wheelchair does not become chewier, no matter how hard you.
Yeah, but you don't have to include. Yeah, but don't include the wheelchair, man. It's just pure meat. We're just talking the flesh.
Yeah, but you could use the wheelchair like a bone, like a chicken drumstick.
Oh, spit. Yeah, spit. You could spit roast him on his wheelchair. It's aluminium. Probably glass. I don't know.
Well, I think we've managed to achieve a new low tonight.
Have we? Excellent.
I think I can be quite proud of the total degeneracy. You got to the point of putting Tonka on his wheelchair.
I could go further, but I don't want to get mod kicked.
Wow. Okay, I just wanted to make that very clear to people. We managed to get to this point this evening. How low can we go?
Oh.
Well, I would no.
You would what?
I could go lower, but I don't really want to say it in case the mod does get fucking kicked. I'll put it in the side shot.
Awesome. Yeah, that's right. You lot don't get to see it. You should have joined us.
Yeah.
Well, did you put the link out in the chat for
Yeah.
anyone to join?
And nobody joined. You worthless fucking parasites.
You scared them off.
So you're just sitting here listening, not contributing, not doing nothing.
They're watching the show. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, Mad Dodge has to appreciate that. There's people watching. He's got a dedicated fan base.
I wouldn't call
Join
any
in.
one of Dodge's followers
Worthless cunts.
dedicated. They come for people to yell at other people.
Well, Mad Dodge is telling
But
everybody.
why don't they
to
come and
code,
yell
you
at
know?
us? Yeah, well, you gotta do that. Insects are gonna learn to code, remember?
Oh, that was my stream earlier.
Yes.
Talking about the devastating that the insects are dying in droves. There's
Oh, yeah.
2% less insects every single year. I can tell you what. You go up to Minnesota and tell me there's fewer freaking mosquitoes, and let me know about that.
Well, actually, I think the insects are hiding. Not to mention, how do you count insects? Do you count the swarm? You know.
1 little, 2 little,
No,
3
yeah,
little fire ants. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little
Fire
fire
ants can fuck right off.
10 little Indian boys. Yeah, how did they go? What were the capturing techniques for that?
But yeah, what do you do? Step on a fire ant hill to get them to swarm your ass? See how many bites you get afterwards?
Well, the old way that the Indians used to do it is they used to strap people to the fire ant hill. Let's be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. They did, and
As
also
opposed
put
to that,
put honey on your
puberty
face
ritual?
as well.
I don't
You
know
put
where
honey
that-
on your face. They were nasty.
Not just
Honey
your face.
is so disgusting.
In fact, they even do that with your genitalia. They put
Yep.
fire ants on your genitals and put honey on your genitals.
Honey is so disgusting.
It was one of the
What a
ways
way
to
to go.
prove your patriarchy. Tell me what's worse, the fire ant mace or the taser?
Oh,
Yeah, but
How
the thing is,
about
at least
we
it takes a bit of time to set up. I mean, for fuck's sake, you've got to get the fire ants, you've got to, set up the thing, and you've got to get the honey and stuff. I
Kevin
mean,
just making a production
tasers
of this.
convenience.
He wants
Yeah.
to put this up on the
Yeah, but the thing is, MC, Cabby's
Taser is a tool of
no,
convenience.
the reason why
Or-
Cabby's getting so into this, MC, is because he's the one thinking about putting honey on the genitals.
That's right. I'm thinking about I'm looking at my plug sockets right now.
He's
I-
thinking
I-
of
I
placing
would
this
electrocute my
and sending it
testicles.
viral.
Cabby just
I
doesn't
think-
want to do those ant gloves that those kids, I think they're in Africa, have to put on for 24 or 48 hours. I don't remember how long. When they're going through
What?
puberty, or it's a puberty ritual.
Yeah, but I don't think it was for 24 hours. I think they just put their hands in it for a period of time. I don't think it's a full 24 hours.
Right, so as long as
Well, I
they're
think
bleeding,
it's
they're
off
bleeding.
and on.
So fine, wash them up and send them my way.
I don't
Sorry.
know, man. I mean, fire ants are not.
Hang on, MC. Did you say wash up the African boys and send them to your place?
I said the ones who are bleeding.
Where did
I
that
think
come
it-
from?
Yeah, that was a weird distortion there.
Well, MC and Shirati were talking about African boys, and you seemed to get excited.
No, it wasn't boys. I said about the bleeding. I said once they bleed, they breed. So, wash them and send them my way.
So it's not the boys, it's the African girls. Right, okay.
Well, indeed. Exactly.
He's not that picky.
I'm selective. No, I am. I am picky that way.
Wow.
Okay.
And the topic changes. So.
Well, listen,
It doesn't seem like it's gotten off of the fire ants quite yet.
Okay.
I would point
But,
out.
we can go into fire ants if you want. That could be fun.
I am not going into fire ants. Fire ants are cunts.
Oh, you know how you get rid of people? You just tell people, just start the rumor that fire ants in the genitals is the new Tide Pod, and see how take the fire ant challenge.
Oh god, yeah, that would be a fucking oh seriously, that could work. I mean seriously, that could
Actually,
really work.
I think we should give them, especially the millennials and people in California, a new one. Try the Superman challenge. Choose a building and jump off it.
Yeah, defy gravity.
Yeah, but too many of them would back out. But if you sit there and give them the fire ant challenge, they won't even realize it's coming.
Yeah, no, the fire ant thing I think is a fucking brilliant idea. Just get like the Tide Pod thing. Just get people do stupid shit like like the Tide.
We're
like,
gonna film this. You'll be part of Jackass. You'll be famous.
Really, like if you get a fire ant nappy or something.
A fire ant nappy.
Okay, this is the warning now. This could become a thing. Are you sure you really want to subject humanity to that new law?
Absolutely, we got to expose the frauds.
I'm sorry, Jensen, but let's be honest. You already have fucking the special people in California who are trying to go back to childhood, who have actually set up, places where they can be in nappies and stuff. I don't think we even. Let's put it this way: if you think this stream has been degenerate, we haven't even begun to get into the level of
Have you
California yet.
seen that degeneracy that you were talking about? They got a channel devoted to where adults put on diapers and get in freaking bibs and shit and go freaking roll around on the ground.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, seriously, we're not even close
MC, are
to
you
getting
kink
to the.
shaming?
No, I'm just talking what's out there that I can't believe what people have been doing. It's like,
Yeah.
are you going to? I mean, just how freaking far out there do you have to be to sit up there and do something like that?
And now
They
I'm
just
worried
exposed
about
the
your search
trace.
history, MC. What are they going to find when they actually go and look at your computer?
If you're worried about that in my search history, you're looking at the wrong area.
No, I think if we're talking MC search history, it would be cataclysm, apocalypse, nuke, apocalypse.
It's
Drone.
probably- no, most of it will be.
Now come on, MC. Why would you look up drone when you already own some?
No,
Because you've got to figure out how to build them.
voices. It's going to be zombie porn.
Zombie porn? What the hell did that come
Speaking
Ah.
of zombie porn,
That's what it is. You know it. You see, MC, you got kind of scared there. I heard it in your voice. You know, I know where you're looking. You sick bastard.
If you think that's the case, Cabbage, I suggest you clean your ears out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, clear my ears
Yeah,
now, so I can hear you more clearly.
I think we know who the zombie lover is.
Good.
that's a book.
Don't we start all this off the same way? Brains.
Yeah, well, if only we could find
Never
some.
understood
The
because, like,
do's and don'ts, and it depends on, it depends of undead love.
No, but isn't it something? There's got to be something to do with the Jews as well.
I'm sorry, but there's a word for that. It's called necrophilia.
Mm.
Oh my God, it's one of the books that's going to be for my story time.
Wow.
Homosexual necrophilia is one of the books for your story time.
I have a story time stream that I do. Right
I
now, I'm
know.
doing political correct
I
fairy
know.
tales.
I've been enjoying them. They are quite funny.
They are all.
I still think that you should do the fucking the gingerbread. You know the
Run as
Hansel
fast as you can.
Hansel and Gretel. You know that one. That's a good one.
I'll do the ones that I do in the order that I want to do them.
Well, you know, but I'm just giving you a request. If you ignore it, that's fine, and fuck you.
Do you want to be part of the next one?
AMC, I just want to say to everybody watching, AMC has a story time stream every day as well. It's a very angry and loud story time, but it's a story time.
I wasn't too loud and angry today.
Yeah, well, he's consistent.
It was quite calm. And, with the exception of the what? By the way, boys, since you're on this freaking tier and you were talking about my stream today, can you explain to me why in Belfast the freaking animals keep escaping your zoo? What is it that you guys sit up there and set up with the freaking zoo where every other week another animal is escaping? Are you looking to see whether or not you can like reduce the population by releasing the different animals one at a time?
Well,
I thought it was quite
MC,
funky.
you see, MC, what you Americans call a zoo, we call Her Majesty's prison over here.
They were actually Muslims.
That wasn't a red panda. It was actually a Muslim that got away. Is that what you're trying to say?
And anyway, it was only a couple of chimps. I mean,
What if
let's
it was
be
only a
honest.
couple of twins? Last week it was a freaking red panda. A couple weeks before that it was something else. You guys have a freaking string of freaking incidents with your zoo lately.
Guys, I can turn this into a conspiracy. Those animals were released so as they could be hunted. People called the most
Can we use these to deliver the bombs?
No, I
Really was
agree
just a
with-
chip.
You have to remember that, like, Belfast too. I mean, it was opened long before I was born, and it basically hasn't been updated since. So they're still using rope instead of steel cages. So there's not quite a lot that you can do about it.
Yeah. It's old school. It's an old school zoo.
So, in other words, it's not a fucking zoo.
So in other
Wow,
words,
yeah.
you let the kids go ahead and play, and the ones that get out were the are the winners of the survival game.
Well, I did say that. That it's hard to distinguish between an Irishman and a fucking chimp.
Now you just keep your fucking quiet, because unlike
And the winner of the Darwin Award goes to whoever makes it the fuck out.
I just want to hear voice say, ooh. Just ooh. I want to hear a nuke.
Is that how you determine who gets to breed? You run through the gauntlet of the zoo.
Well, you got to have something. I mean,
Well, you see,
nothing else.
instead of building a zoo out of bricks, we used the bricks to build a wall.
No, the thing was, just a bunch of wood was left next to a wall, and so the chimps could run up it. It was just basically just lazy, people not paying attention.
Honestly, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they don't have enough money to feed everything and they're just letting them out.
That's right.
Let them forage on their own.
Yeah, feed on the natives.
It's open forage time.
Fucking hell. It'd be so funny seeing a giraffe walking down the centre.
No, well, you see, it's all right.
Belfast.
No, it's okay because the chimps know the way.
I'd like to point out, if this happened in South London, we'd have eaten the creatures. No, I'm not joking.
Well, remember George Orwell with when he was writing about his experiences in Paris. They were eating the zoo. They ate the zoo during the Second World War.
Well, Venezuela doesn't have that excuse.
No, seriously. they were like rhino burgers and stuff. That's what they were doing.
Were they that hungry?
Well, of course they were. They had no other food. Well, I mean, if you're going to eat the zoo, I mean, presumably they started with the things that, they weren't. I mean,
well, you have to remember,
But anyway, they ended up eating the fucking rhinos and the elephants and the fucking giraffes too.
Yes, but you see, that was actually a challenge. They started off with the snails, and someone wanted to go bigger.
God, you see, this is why Anton Deck should not be allowed to have TV shows.
Hammond wanted to point out he wants him a meerkat sandwich now.
The what?
Hammond Spud, he wants to eat one of the meerkats. The bastard.
How would you want a meerkat?
I have no idea.
Freaking rats.
I know.
Rats on a stick.
Meerkat. In all fairness, this could be on his bucket list. Let's not take anything back. Everyone's got their personal choices. Maybe he just wants to try a meerkat.
Well, it's meat. And to be honest with you, this is the thing that rats used to be. In fact, I think even in Florida, these, like those big rats, the ones in the swamps.
Yep.
They kill them, and most people, quite happy to eat them. They're kind of free range. I mean, you don't want to eat a sewer rat.
Are you a free range rat connoisseur? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that you don't want to eat rats which are in the sewers. Yeah, but it's not the sewer.
Only.
It's not. But it's not the sewer rats that you want to be eating, right? I mean, there are plenty of free range, like out in the fields and stuff. They're just basically meat. It's like, well, why is it any different than a squirrel? I've eaten a squirrel before.
I've eaten squirrel.
Rabbit. Yeah, exactly. I've eaten rabbit and squirrel and stuff like that. Why is it any different? It was free range. If you're talking about a sewer,
you cannot live. You cannot live on rabbit.
No, you can't because you need the extra vitamins. But the like the rat, the idea of the rat is that somehow it's it's dirty, and it is if it's a sewer rat. But people have been eating rats in the countryside for years. The same as squirrels and same as voles and everything else. I mean, whatever they can get their hands on.
Happy.
Frogs are pretty good too.
Well, frogs are good.
Big frogs.
Bullfrogs. If you're gonna say it right.
Bullfrog.
I've had bullfrog.
Cabby.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have any one meat that you'd never normally have to eat, what would it be?
What, if I couldn't, what? That I wouldn't, no. Well, I don't know what it would be then, would I?
No, if you could eat an animal that you had, you're thinking about which animal have you never tried before that you'd be interested in eating?
Thank you.
Oh, dodo.
Dodo.
Yeah. I want to try a dodo.
Giant tortoise. I'm surprised.
Well, the tortoise, yeah, but they never managed to get back from Australia, so
It doesn't matter.
there's no chance.
It doesn't
I've
matter.
got-
It's not like you could eat the dodo now. The point is if we're taking from at any point, which is actually what I was going for, what
Mhm.
meat would you actually like to try from anywhere in the real world within an acceptable timeline? If you're going back to Protozoa, you're taking a piss.
Well, originally they say the first soup was hippo, so I want to try some hippo soup.
Hippo.
Mm,
That would
Apparently.
be interesting.
yeah.
Those
Hippo
I've never
soup.
had. I've never had hippo. I've ate a lot of strange things. I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian, so we eat a lot of crazy.
I've never-
Stoney, you're a strange guy. I'm not surprised.
I've never eaten the hippo, but I've dated a couple.
Well, I have to be. I wouldn't be here. If I wasn't a strange guy, I would not be here right now. So
Fair
that
point.
speaks for
Fair point,
itself.
sir. Welcome to the madhouse. So, MC, same question.
I think of all the things that I haven't tried, is I haven't tried polar bear.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that would be like, because bear meat is really good. I've tried that.
I've
It is
never had
really
bear
lean.
meat in any way, shape, or form.
Oh
I
yeah,
want
and
polar
I don't
bear.
think I've never ate seal. I don't think either.
Mm.
Seal,
Seal,
or,
to
Oh,
me,
actually,
the problem with
Hey,
eating seal is it's too fatty.
I'd roast a penguin.
well, but when you're living in Canada, you need that fat, man. You need
Well,
that. You need those high. Yeah,
I
that's why
live
the
I'd try.
Eskimos-
I
that's
mean,
how
I
the
got it. I mean, penguins have got to be better than ducks, right, or geese. That's got to be good.
Yeah,
They got
penguin
Really
might
lots
be,
of fat.
penguin might be pretty cool. I don't know.
penguin
Yeah.
would be interesting. Could be interesting. depending
Yeah.
on what-
I want to roast a penguin now.
You got him hungry for penguin. He's now going on the great penguin hunt.
What kind of penguin?
Nazi
Oh,
penguins.
don't.
What other kind would you eat?
It's got to be
All
one
of
of the
them.
king
The
penguins.
fat,
I'm not going cheap. I want the king penguin. I know.
Oh,
Give
you
me
mean
the
the
emperor
emperor?
penguins.
Yeah,
the
the emperor. Yeah. Big fucker.
turkey.
I want
It'd
one
be
that.
like a Christmas turkey, only a penguin.
Mm. Ah, roast that sucker. That'd be good. Yummy.
Well, Mr. Stoneley, any meat, any time, what would you like to try?
I just said I think I would like to maybe penguin and the rhino sounded good. I've tried it. Like I said, I've ate cougar and
Well, no, it's hippo, mate. Not
dog and
rhino.
ate all kinds. I ate all kinds of crazy shit. Bear and everything. I don't know. I mean, polar bear. I don't know. It's gonna taste the same as a bear. I think.
Yeah, it's hard to get roadkill with a polar bear, though.
Yeah, I know. Really.
You gotta keep. You
Well,
gotta
Well,
keep
have you
reversing.
had moose before?
Moose.
No.
Oh yeah. Fuck, we live on moose here.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, and elk. Oh yeah, moose.
No,
and
I've
elk.
had elk before. I've never had moose, but I've had elk.
Elk better than moose by far. Yeah.
Well,
But
it's
it
not like
depends.
they, but-
Again, it depends where your animal is at. If it's a slew donkey, like we call them, like some moose, they just live in the slough and they're just gross tasting, right? And then you get other ones that are out on the prairie more and they eat more grains, more like cattle and stuff like that, and eat better. And,
Yeah, well, that's what spices are for, mate. That's the reason you have
Yeah,
spices.
yeah,
The crappy meat, you throw in the spices.
yeah.
Right. Voice, I hope you're still
Well,
there.
That's a very important thing when you're talking about eating strange meats like this, is preparation, because I mean, you can. I've ate lots of stuff. Cougar, I really thought was disgusting.
Stonely, it's not your turn. Shut up.
Oh, I didn't know I got turns.
Yep.
No, you got bitch slap for some reason. I don't know why. It was. I was
That's okay. Hey, fuck, I'm used to it. I don't fucking. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize it was.
I don't
Where's
think
the token?
with us. In that
Who was
case,
who was meant to be talking when Stonely was?
I don't know if voice heard Queen, which is why I told Stonely to shut up.
your turn, Trotty.
Yeah, but it wasn't Shirati who wanted to talk. That's what I'm saying. That's
No.
interfering.
Voice,
are you there?
There you are.
Yeah, well, I'm here. I'm
No.
listening. I was waiting my turn.
Bureaucrat, fucking bureaucrat.
I would say because it's been done before and proven to be good, Jew.
Jew?
You. Well, yeah, but you gotta get the right seasoning. It's gotta be basted properly.
380 at 4 hours.
Yeah. Is
Wow.
it hickory? Do you go hickory or oak? I don't know.
I don't know. Goebbels was sort of shifty on the details.
Mm.
Okay.
Are you going after MC because he's only partially Jew? Memes because he's half Jew, but the wrong kind of half.
No, it's like this. MC's is about as much a Jew as my arse is. I don't
Okay,
believe
you
for a minute.
you admitted you have a Jewish arse. I can believe it.
And quite frankly, yeah, unless I know for a fact Meme doesn't live with his mother, so he's not Jewish.
Jeez.
Fair point. Fair point.
And he's not a doctor or an
And he's
accountant.
lawyer.
You've seen him? No.
Oh, lawyer.
You've seen him, and he's in his little squat, and he never does his fucking laundry and things.
No,
I
being
think he
serious,
definitely-
meat I would like to eat but never eaten would be alligator.
Oh, alligator's quite good. I had it 3 times and I enjoyed it once.
Yeah, alligator's a
It was
lot lighter meat
right.
than people realize. I mean, if you've never
Yeah,
had
but
it
it's
before,
how it's prepared, man. It's how it's prepared.
you're right.
It
It
really
is how
is.
it's prepared, but it's a light meat. It's a light tasting meat in
Well,
comparison.
no,
to-
but it's like a steak in a way. Like
oh
you
no,
get-
yeah, but it's not. It's not.
you know?
It's not heavy like duck. Or some certain like or like pheasant. You know how it's got a real strong taste to it.
Yeah, it's not
It doesn't.
gamey.
And you guys are touching on the same
Well-
thing. Preparation. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it
is
can
about
be, because it's
it don't matter what you eat. If you cook it up real good and you do it right, it'll be delicious.
Because like I said, I had it 3 times, and there was a couple of times that it was really bad because the people didn't know how to cook it or what they were doing with it. I had it boiled once, and the best one I had was when it was barbecued and deep fried, and that was really nice. They knew how to cook. Because they also because you gotta soak it, haven't you? To get out because it's got the uric acid in it. You got to get that urine flavor out of it. Yes, urine. Yeah, anyone have any opinions about urine?
I don't even want to go to that.
Would
To
you
be
like
fair-
urine in your meat?
To be fair, there are probably people out there that add that as some sort of spice.
Well, don't forget, there's women who are using their fucking, yeast infections to make bread. So, the world fucking, I know, it's a disgrace, mate.
Yeah.
I just seen on the news the other day, so it must be true. That they're going to start doing snot injections for people, snot transfusions for bronchial chronic respiratory shit. So you get somebody else's snot put in you.
Wow.
Yeah, would you
wow.
like that? Does that taste? Does that
Just get somebody to sneeze at you. And that's, job done.
I don't know what to say to that. That is gross.
That is very
No,
gross.
it's just really fucking weird. I don't think that's a Poe. I think
No,
that's
it's
a
gross.
4chan.
It's not just weird. That's gross.
Yeah,
That
but I
is
think it's
sickening.
a 4chan. Yeah, but it's a 4chan thing. It's got there's no relevance in anything. It's not going to go anywhere. It's like the Vox News stuff and Vice and all this other shit. It's a non-story.
I'm pretty sure my snot would kill most people.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, we can weaponize you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be thinking like that. That's bad. And after all, it's not like MC's not got his drones to fly the poison. Now, it's amazing.
How much do you weigh? Do we need swallow? What kind of swallows do we need to get you over there?
145 dripping wet.
All right, so it's African swallows then, all the way.
Okay. You
Well,
get the
unfortunately, guys,
swallow.
I'm going to have to leave here. So I'm sorry, but I have to take off. So I'll talk to y'all later.
Take it on, Elon.
See you tomorrow morning.
Bye-bye. To be honest,
Lame,
it's getting late, so I'm going to call
You
this
are.
call. Thank you very much for being on. It's very
No.
nice of you.
Thank you for running it.
Not a problem. And thank you for anyone who actually stayed through to the end. Congratulations, you made it through the weirdness. I hope you had a fun time. And, well, hopefully Mad will be back Wednesday with his voice possibly not sounding like something out of the living dead. So, until then, good night.